the old covenant has been made obsolete. Now, we read that and we go, well, duh. We know about the cross. Yeah, but no, come with me in a time machine to 64 AD. You go into Jerusalem. What do you smell? You smell animal sacrifices, thousands of them being killed and barbecued. You were constantly reminded of the old covenant in place. And the writer of Hebrews, whoever it was, it couldn't have been Paul, but whoever it was, says, that's all been made obsolete. Well, you can understand the original audience going, what the heck? What are you talking about, obsolete? It's there. We smell it. We see it. We hear it. We hear the animals going, whoa! We hear it all the time. And he says this, that which has been made obsolete is about to be done away with. What's he talking about? He's talking about what happened in 70 AD when the Romans stormed Jerusalem and literally took the temple apart brick by brick and then called all the priests out. And the priests had the temerity to say, okay, we surrender. And the Romans said, surrender is not an option. You should have done that 42 months ago, 3.5 years ago. There's your tribulation. And they executed all the priests. All of the priests were executed. That's why I go into hysterics when I hear somebody say today that they are a Jew from the line of the Levitical priests. I go, unless somebody was reassembled, then resurrected, that ain't possible. So if you understand this, you understand that the old covenant overlapped the new covenant from the cross. The cross made it obsolete, but it was still in place. It was about to be done away with. Now, that's why for Bible students who've puzzled over, how come when Paul went to Jerusalem, the Apostle Paul went to Jerusalem, he went to the temple and made sacrifices. This is the Apostle Paul that had already written the epistle to the Galatians saying that there's no point to sacrifices. So why is this new covenant Christian going to the temple in Jerusalem in the book of Acts and making sacrifices and paying vows? Because both covenants were in place at the same time. One was about to be done away with. It's the only explanation that makes sense. So the seventh trumpet is about to announce the end of the old covenant. What happens then? Well, I want to say to you that Matthew 24 predicts this. Jesus predicted the destruction of the temple. Jesus predicted that the old covenant would be done away with. You'll see Jerusalem surrounded by armies. Then, if you're in the city when this begins, I want you to flee. And that is exactly what the Christians did when the Romans stormed the temple, set up the insignia to Caesar, commanded all people to worship that. That's what Jesus spoke about, the abomination of desolation. And Josephus records that all the Christians of the city fled over the next 3 days, exactly fulfilling what Jesus said.